8. They're going to be tough on the offensive side. The primary responsibility for the quarterback has been to hand the ball off. Saran Stacy has been phenomenal. The team is averaging 276 yards rushing per game, so it's easy to understand why the Crimson Tide rolls into Death Valley with a 7-1 mark.
Alabama will be without their starting quarterback, Danny Woodson, who's been suspended for violating team rules, and redshirt freshman Jay Barker will get his first starting call. At the start of the year, LSU went on the road and lost their first 2 games. But in the second half of the second game, they started to put it all together. And this LSU team under new head coach Curly Hallman is now playing with confidence, Lynn. They've won 3 of their last 4.
They've been phenomenal, Gary. I can hardly hear you because of the roar of the crowd as they come out into the field. Chad Luke, their quarterback, is going to have a great game this afternoon. Of course, Todd Kitchen is the one guy that's going to have a big game at his receiver position. Even if he's double covered, that means you're going to create one-on-one opportunities for the other receivers. On the defensive side, LSU has to play like their mascot. They're going to have to be on the prowl, stalking their opponent, looking for them to show a weakness, and then pounce on them with all the force they can muster for the quick kill. It's going to be a tough contest this afternoon, Gary. All
right, Lynn, let's look at some headlines. The Air Force, with a win today, could clinch a Liberty Bowl berth. Casey Weldon returned to quarterback to face South Carolina today. He was 19 of 28, 184 yards, 3 touchdowns and interceptions. They blasted the Gamecocks 38-10. And today, Desmond Howard broke Michigan's single-season scoring record. And Florida can clinch the SEC with a victory over Georgia, combined with an Alabama loss today. This is Mike V, the Bengal Tiger, who's in his first year as a mascot of LSU. Before entering the stadium, his cage on wheels is parked next to the opponent's locker room. And tradition says that the Tigers will score a touchdown for every growl generated by Mike. The Tigers and the Tide from Baton Rouge. A big SEC game. The kickoff in just a moment. This is a 95-year-old Southern rivalry. Alabama leading the series. They have not lost in Baton Rouge since 1969. Alabama won the toss. They deferred. They'll be kicking off. Steve Cole will kick off for the Tide. Wayne Williams and Vincent Fuller back for LSU. And it can be gathered in by Wayne Williams. He's across the 20 to the 25 to the 31-yard line and dropped there. And here comes Chad Luke, who has started to play much better, as you can see in these numbers here. In the last 4 games, he's making better decisions at the quarterback spot. He's a native of Baton Rouge. Fuller starting to the tailback. Kitchen, we've documented him. Anthony Williams is a former linebacker playing tight end up front. Mawai is their best lineman. He's the left tackle. He's played center as well as guard this year. From the 31, the Tigers with the first snap of the game. Luke wants to throw. Play action. Backside pressure. The ball comes loose. LSU is on top of it very quickly. As coming through quickly was number 94, John Copeland, and that'll be an 8-yard loss on the play all the way back to the 24-yard line. We mentioned they have 22 sacks. We'll add another one here. Luke had no chance as he steps up, and there comes Copeland, the junior college transfer, who fired through and was able to drop him for the loss. He and Eric Curry are outstanding in that defensive line for the Crimson Tide. Second down, 18. Handoff this time to Fuller. Fuller flicks out across the 30 to the 35. Stacey Harrison, the strong safety, makes the stop, an 11-yard gain on the play. They'll be 7 yards short of the first down. There's Copeland. We talked about him. Stewart, he was one of 12 finalists coming into the season for the Lombardi Award. Linebackers, well, Sullins, he's a candidate for the Butkus Award this year. And they have people who fly around in the secondary. They have 16 interceptions, and Langham has 4 of those. Third down and 7 now for the Tigers from their own 35. Chad Luke looking to throw. Far side, badly overthrown. It was Mike Garrett, the intended receiver, and that will short-circuit their first series, and they'll have to punt the football, and Brian Griffin will come in as Garrett had no chance to come up with that completion.
what LSU does not want to do continuously in this ball game, Gary, is have the kind of series like we just saw, just a few plays and out, because Alabama will possess and control the ball on offense, keeping your defense off the field.
This is an exciting guy, David Palmer, a freshman out of Birmingham. He has just been brilliant this year. He's first in the SEC in punt returns. Griffith gets it underway, a beautiful punt. Palmer backing up to the 11-yard line. Watch this guy. He's to the 20. He's got some running room. 35. He's going to go. No one will catch him. Palmer is going to take it the distance. David Palmer gives the Tide a 6-0 lead, a 90-yard return.
Stallings can walk the sideline like a prophet, Gary. He told us this young man was one of the most exciting players he has ever seen. His version of Johnny Rodgers, he can do it all. In high school, this young man would go into a football game. He lined up at quarterback. He lined up the next play at halfback. He lined up at another play at wide receiver. He possesses the talent to do anything he wants. And right there, he gave his team a 6-0 lead.
That is not a school record. The record is 92. However, one of those records of 92 yards was against LSU back in 1947. Point after attempt now by Weddington, Matt Weddington, and it's a stunning start for this home crowd at LSU. Alabama with a 7-0 lead. 62-7, and they have jumped the Tigers in a hurry here.
When I saw what they've been able to do against teams in the first quarter, my first thought was they must be possessing the football more than everyone else in order to do that. But it's because their defense has been making plays, turning the ball over, and scoring touchdowns like that punt return.
That was David Palmer's third touchdown return of the season. Vincent Fuller now brings it up, gets a big block across the 20, down the far sideline, and he'll go out of bounds across the 35 to the 36. Eric Washington over to make the stop, a 34-yard kickoff return. Let's go back and watch the next Johnny Rodgers, if you will.
Or the rocket, or the jet, or anything with big thrusters, this young man can be called. Look, he gets great blocking up front. Now, right here, he makes a good, smart move. He started to go to his right, made the one move, made that guy miss. That was the only person he had to make miss, Gary. That was a huge hole they opened up for him, and the rest is just his speed running to the sideline.
He's not very big. He only weighs 170 pounds, as you can see there. He was Mr. Football in Alabama, and they just want him getting a hold of the football in any way they can.
He runs with that big dog theory in mind.
Alabama
like chased.
Alabama was offside on the kickoff. LSU refused it. They want to start from the 36-yard line. Chad Luke rolling out. The completion is made to Vincent Fuller. There is a flag back around where Luke was downed. He was hit, and we may have a roughing the passer, and we do. So Luke able to make the connection to Fuller. That moved the ball out to the 38, and now the penalty. Late hit that time on the sophomore from Baton Rouge, who played high school football within the shadow here of Tiger Stadium. Always wanted to be a Tiger.
It's Antonio London, number 55. I think you see him go in the air right there, and then just come down and drill Luke, push him into the ground.
Gene Stallings does not like mistakes. One thing his team has done this year is do a good job in the turnover department. They're plus 11 coming in. That's what we told you about earlier. Casey Weldon having a big day, throwing 3 touchdowns, and Desmond Howard becoming the single-season scoring record leader for the Michigan Wolverines. The penalty moves it out now to the 47 of Alabama. This one intended for Todd Kitchen. Double coverage, and we're going to see a lot of double coverage on number 49, and one of those guys was Mark McMillan.
And that's going to be the responsibility of Chad Luke when he sees that double coverage, to go to the other guy who might be there in single coverage. That way LSU has the opportunity to make the big play in this ball game.
Did you see that score a little bit ago?
Which score was that?
The Kansas-Nebraska score.
What was it, Gary?
I think the Jayhawks are leading. 12:37 to go now in this first quarter. Second down, 10. Handoff this time to Leo Abel, the fullback. He gets inside the Bama 45 to the 44-yard line. That will make it Third down coming up, and still 7 yards to go. Steve Webb and Robert Stewart. There's Stewart. Boy, is he a weightlifting fanatic. He lives in the weight room. He can bench press 500 pounds.
Bench pressing 500 pounds. Great speed. You see there 6 quarterback sacks, 46 tackles.
James Jacquet has checked in. There's a little shovel to Jacquet, and that fooled absolutely nobody. Loop on a little shovel pass. Completes it to Jacquet, and they lose yardage back inside the 50 to the 49. Antonio London sniffed that one out, and they lost 7.
That was the best defense of a shovel pass I have ever seen. I've never seen one stop as well or effectively. Watch Loop, he's going back, and watch the shovel pass right there, and Jacquet goes nowhere. As soon as he catches the ball, he's hit.
Fourth down, still 13 yards to go. As to punt the football, once again it'll be Brian Griffin. Palmer is back, and you know they're concerned about this. Palmer's going to fair catch this one, though, and he does at the 12-yard line. A 38-yard punt. So we've had some fireworks early. A 90-yard punt return, and that's the difference in the early going. To find out facts on college football, LSU was the first college team to play on foreign soil when they traveled to Cuba in 1907. Defeated the University of Havana 56-0. It looks like the place I was staying when I was down there for the Pan Am games.
Yeah, it looks like a baseball field. You know, the Cubans have some great baseball teams.
Well, Jay Barker, the redshirt freshman, his first start. He's out of Trussville, Alabama, a suburb of Birmingham, replacing Danny Woodson, who's been suspended indefinitely. The first snap for the Tide, they give off to Saran Stacy, and Stacy negotiates the 17-yard line and knocked down there. Let's look now offensively at a line that has really bothered Gene Stallings a lot. Toby Shields is their best player at center. It's a young line, and has at times not performed up to Coach Stallings' expectations,
which are rather high.
Yes, they are. Second down and 7 yards to go. Line of scrimmage to 16, pitch to Palmer. Here's trouble if you're on the opposing team to the 25, and he makes it out for a first down to the 28-yard line. And is he quick? That's a 12-yard gain. As we look at this defense of LSU, which is next to last against the rush in the SEC, Boutte will be playing in the National Football League next year. Wharton, his dad used to be the chancellor at LSU. Linebackers Washington and Walker, they are very active inside. Sean King, up-and-coming sophomore. And in the secondary, a lot of interceptions. And Rodney Young, a true freshman, his first start of his career. First down now at the 27. Palmer again, but they're going to pitch this time to Stacy across the 30. Spins his way to the 31 and gang tackle there.
Gary, before we get going too long, and I want to mention something that happened on the last play when Palmer carried the football. When he got to that sideline, he was one cut away from breaking another tackle or making a moving and maybe being in the open field going for a touchdown. The sidelines of this football field are very soft. It was covered when we came in here Friday. Thursday, they had a lot of rain. It is very, very soft. It is going to give away a lot if you make a hard cut on the sidelines.
Second down. 7 yards to go. Hand off to the fullback, Kevin Turner. And I tell you, LSU has a lot of respect for this senior out of Prattville, Alabama. They say they just watched films of him blocking. He's a devastating blocker. He just unloads on people. And he's an outstanding receiver coming out of the backfield.
And the way they run the football, you know he'll get the opportunity to do both of those things. He can be as big a weapon blocking, wearing out the opponent, those linebackers, people on the ends of that line of scrimmage, softening them up for the big play by Stacy.
Third down and 2 now. This Alabama team averaging 275 yards a game on the ground. Play action by Barker. He's going to keep it, and he's going to get the first down with a great second effort. Barker, who is 6'3", 195, lowered his head. I don't think initially he had the first down, and then he fired forward to the 40. Reggie Walker eventually was there. It'll be a first down for the Tide.
Coach Stallings told us Barker is not one of those players who is naturally gifted. He's very mechanical, but in the situations like this, it's going to work very well for the Alabama offense.
He came in against Tennessee and directed the team to victory. There's a pass completed. just short of the 50-yard line to the 49. That'll be a gain of 9. And this is a true freshman, Curtis Brown, out of Johns Island, South Carolina. Ray Adams over to make the stop for LSU. It'll be now first down at the 49-yard line. Second down and a yard. They were just a yard short of the first down. Hand off to Turner. He'll get the first down. And look at him move the pile, would you? People just going backwards as he grinds his way to the 45. Clayton Mouton was over there to make the stop along with Reggie Walker. And right now, Alabama, good ball control, moving the ball relentlessly, and this has been their game all year long. Gene Stallings in his second year. He lost his first 3 games. In Alabama, they now have won 13 of the last 16. Hand off to Turner. Turner breaking tackles to the 30, to the 25. Ray Adams on the stop again, a 21-yard run by the senior.
And Turner gets up limping a little bit, Gary. Got up, hopped on his leg a little bit. We'll follow. Take a look at this. He gets good blocking in front, but the play hits hard, wide open. And look, he breaks one tackle right there. That's Anthony Marshall. Then he goes on number 21, Ray Adams. Folks, Ray Adams did a great job to bring him down by himself.
With the steam he had built up, right? Now we have a penalty flag. We're going to have a personal foul against LSU.
I'm not sure. In looking at replay, I thought maybe Ray might have had a hand on the face mask, Gary. I'm not sure.
Curly Hallman, who played for Gene Stallings at Texas A&M and All Southwest Conference defensive back, pitch to Stacy, and Stacy takes it inside the 10. Knocked down there. Al Ford, the referee. That's not the live Bengal Tiger. Well, that Mike the Fifth was impressive, isn't he?
Oh, he's just a young little kitten out there in the cage.
Going to bring up now, second down. And still about 3 yards to go. The line of scrimmage at the 7. They can get a first and goal at the 2. Alabama with a 7-0 lead. There's Christy Phillips, an LSU cheerleader, the outstanding gymnast for the United States. This is the other fullback, Martin Houston, and his heel load at 235 pounds. Replacing Turner, as Lynn had mentioned, Turner getting up a little gimpy. So Houston takes it inside before Rose Swan, no relation to Lynn, I might add, and Ricardo Washington on the stop. And they're going to be now third down and still about 2 yards to go.
You know, when I came down to LSU, people were asking me if I had a brother or son out here playing. I said, well, yeah, I guess I'm old enough to have a son in college, but I don't.
Hand off to Houston again, and Houston met with the resistance, didn't get it. It'll be fourth down. Good reaction by Reggie Walker. Also, Anthony Marshall, who will really hit you, number 14. Let's look at it.
The defensive line here for LSU, I don't think can stand toe-to-toe all afternoon, but they do a good job right here engaging the blockers and coming up and gang tackling.
Well, this isn't an automatic here. Matt Wethington will come in to attempt the field goal. This has been an area that has concerned Gene Stallings. They're 7 of 14 in field goals. And
knowing Gene, he intentionally kept that ball inside the hash marks to give him the best shot of making this field goal.
Wethington kicked 2 last week. This is a 21-yard attempt, and he put that one right down the pipe, right down the middle. And so the Tide adds 3 points to the lead, 10-0, 6:22 to go in the first quarter. Reinstituted by new head coach Curly Hallman. The eye of the Tiger once again being displayed in the middle of Tiger Stadium. It's Curly trying to reinstitute some of the outstanding tradition that LSU has had through the years. They've had some great football teams. National champions of '58. Steve Cole will be kicking off for the Tide, who leads it 10-0. Hits it well. Vincent Fuller takes it at the 10, up to the 20, to the 25, and weaves his way just short of the 30-yard line. That's where LSU will set it up after a 22-yard return. You get the feeling LSU needs to have some success on this series.
Well, unfortunately for LSU, Gary, this is the kind of ball game that both offensively and defensively, they're going to have to take some risks. They're going to have to try and put the ball in the air to try and find a way of offsetting this aggressive Alabama defense, keeping them off balance.
So that drive, 84 yards, very impressive drive, coming on the heels of an 90-yard punt return. Chad Luke will start this one from the 27. Pitch comes now to Jacquet, who had 125 yards last week. There's a flag as he's tackled short of the 30 by Antonio London, and also James Gregory, a sophomore out of St. Louis. Jacquet, who had been suspended from the second game on until last week, really helped LSU a week ago. It's going to be holding against the Tigers. This is not what Curly Hallman had in mind, getting behind a good defensive team 10-0.
Now early in the ball game, he knew coming into the game it was going to be tough. Alabama had that kind of potential. But what he wanted to do was stay within reach of them, not give up any plays, big plays, not make the mistakes. And he needs his offense really to control the ball, move it downfield, keep his defensive unit off the field, because Alabama will grind it out. And Alabama hurts you when they grind the football out.
Oh boy, they are hard-nosed football players. The old Bear Bryant tradition that Gene Stallings has reinstituted. They've won 6 in a row. First and 19 now, and Chad Luke wants to call a timeout. That'll give us an opportunity to talk about one of the problems Alabama's having. Gene Stallings in the kicking game. He has kind of had a musical chair situation. We ask him, what's he going to do about the kicking game?
Oh boy, I'm worried about it. Yesterday when we were kicking out, just trying a little there in the stadium, wind was blowing a little bit, and I wasn't too satisfied with our kicking game. But you know, I hadn't been satisfied all year, so it's no surprise. But we're going to work at it. We blocked some kicks. The return game has been pretty good, but we'll just have to put whoever we got in there. And in fact, we changed on who was coming as late as the day before yesterday. So you know, it's not set. And I worry about that. We should know by now. We had a great kicker last year in Philadelphia. Perhaps I was a little bit spoiled.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He's got to be happy he has 3 points from the kicking game on the scoreboard. But you know, he must have gone to the Alabama school of low Southern drawl. I mean,
does he sound like the Bear a little bit?
He sounds just like the Bear.
It's amazing. We'll talk more about that later. 19 yards to go on first down. Back to throw is Chad Luke. Dumps it off near side, complete to Jermaine Williams, a fullback. And Jermaine does all he can to try to get back to the line of scrimmage. George Teague, the free safety, over to make the stop.
I talked to Curly when we were in our meeting and asked him if it was hard to teach young guys how to make a weakness out of somebody's strength, and that's what LSU is trying to do. We know Alabama's defense comes hard and aggressive, so what he's got to do is offset that by letting them make the rush upfield and throwing the ball out in the screens, hitting the quick plays. And he says it's hard. It's a hard thing to get these young kids to understand, but we try and work with them.
Second down, still 19. One of those things he wanted was a shovel pass. The first time it didn't work. Here's a quarterback draw by Luke. He comes out to the 30, takes a real hit, and bounces forward. Good run. James Shade, a true freshman, made the stop, a 14-yard gain. Let's go to New York now. Here's Roger Twyble.
Thanks, Gary. It's a final at Ann Arbor. Michigan beats Northwestern 59-14. First quarter, Elvis Gerbeck, just a little swing pass out to that man, Desmond Howard. Something new and different, huh, for the Wolverines? But with this particular touchdown catch and 6 points, he breaks the Michigan single-season scoring record set by Tom Harmon back in 1940. Gary?
Well, I tell you, Roger, he still has 2 games to go. Can you imagine? Back to throw is Luke now on third down and 5, and badly thrown. Todd Kitchen, the intended receiver. Luke had a lot of pressure coming up the middle from Eric Curry, number 80. Now this guy, a junior out of Thomasville, Georgia. A lot of people feel, and Curly Hallman feels, he's a young Jeff Bryant who played at Clemson when Curly was an assistant there.
Well, he's 6'6", 265 pounds, and he keeps saying he's going to grow. Not necessarily grow in height, folks, but I mean, grow in his ability to play smart football, to make key plays. He's going to get stronger and more aggressive.
Here he is, David Palmer, and every time he goes back, the opposing team has to be nervous. That ball may have been partially blocked. Big pressure being put on the near side as Brian Griffin had Will Brown in his face, and that ends up being a 34-yard punt. The Tide has the football, and they have a 10-0 lead. home of the LSU Tigers. But right now, Alabama with a 10-0 lead, a 90-yard punt return for a touchdown, and a drive culminating in a 21-yard field goal. As we come out now to the 33, Alabama with the football. Thus far, LSU rushing a -4, 21 yards passing. Here is Stacy. Flag on the play as Stacy is able to get to the 40-yard line. Ivory Hilliard, who started last week for LSU, Ricardo Washington over to make the stop. Well, Monday on ABC Sports, Mike Ditka and his Chicago Bears battle the Minnesota Vikings, and Jerry Burns is upset about some of the remarks that Mike Ditka made. The Bears and the Vikings, they don't like each other too much. Those two rivals go after each other Monday night.
You know, Ditka says something, and someone is going to be upset. I mean, he's not the kind of person who makes a remark about what's going on and plays it, you know, right in the middle. He takes one end or the other. I don't think you have to really worry about it too much.
Are you saying he's outspoken?
Yes.
Holding against the Tide, so the penalty moves it back to the 23.
More than outspoken, he just doesn't soften up anything he says.
David Palmer comes into the picture. He'll be split to the top of the field. Single running back is Turner behind Jay Barker, the redshirt freshman. Barker on 1st and 20 on a screen to Turner, and they get a couple of yards, and that's all. Out to the 25, Stanley Thomas out of Marshall, Texas, a sophomore over to make the stop. So that didn't fool anybody.
Well, Stanley was going in on the rush, and I think he read the flow of the blocking. People letting him come in, just looped back and made the stop.
Barker, a brilliant student. He's in pre-med. Outstanding leader, as Lynn was mentioning. Some of the things he doesn't do naturally. But he comes in here at his first start with Danny Woodson out, and he's going to pitch this one to Palmer. Palmer looking for some running room, a flag as he advances to the 28. Reggie Walker made the stop. You know, you saw on that play what Gene Stallings told us about Palmer. He says people can surround him, but they don't get him sometimes.
No, he has to read where the holes are, then turn it inside or outside. As a punt returner, you see the holding penalty called. As a punt returner, and I have a little bit of experience here, the coach always tells you, you've got to make the first man miss. You can't always rely on that person being blocked. So you get in a situation, and it becomes natural to make a miss, to put that move on them.
Gene Stallings not happy about 2 holding calls, and the white hat is Mal Moore, his assistant head coach. And so they backed up to the 15 in that offensive line that Gene hasn't been pleased with right now. Is got his football team headed in the wrong direction.
But I think that's another quality in terms of how he told us the information he got from the Bear. We'll talk about that a little bit.
2nd and 28 now. Barker on a delayed handoff to Turner. Turner getting some of it back. And he brings it out to the 23-yard line. Rodney Young made the stop.
You know, the Bear always had a habit of kind of downplaying his talent. Always saying, oh, I'm not happy with the offensive line, and this guy doesn't look that good, and I know what everybody's saying, how great he is, but I think he's just average. And then that team rolls in and they beat you up coming and going. And Gene Stallings has a little bit of that. I mean, you know, he was kind of lowballing the talent of his football team. Heard a little bit more praise from him yesterday, though, when we talked to him.
Less than 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. It's now 20 yards to go after a gain of 8. Setting up and screen over the middle to Turner. Turner out to the 30. Well, this guy's doing a very resourceful job as he is able to get to the 36, a gain of 13, and it'll still be short of the first down. Rodney Young over to make the stop. Next Saturday, what a big day it's going to be here. Beginning at 12 Eastern, 11 Central, the biggest game of the season. Number 2 Miami storms into Tallahassee to take on Heisman Trophy candidate Casey Walden in Florida State. Then it's regional action. Most of you will see Notre Dame battling Penn State, or you'll see Michigan and Desmond Howard against the Fighting Illini of Illinois. Tank Williamson to punt the football. Todd Kitchen is very exciting in his own right. Back to field it. High snap. This is returnable. Kitchen to the 35, and he'll be tackled there. 34-yard punt, 5-yard return. Let's go back. If you joined us late, you missed an exciting moment in this game. David Palmer with a 90-yard punt return, his 3rd touchdown return of the year via the punt. And then Weddington culminating an 84-yard drive with a 21-yard field goal. LSU really has not gotten untracked yet offensively. as they start from their 35. Gary Bender along with Lynn Swan. 1:53 to go in the first quarter. Luke giving off to Jacquet. Here he goes. Jacquet with a first down. Teague made the stop, and Jacquet is one of those guys that'll make you miss. Only 175 pounds and a sophomore, and that's a 14-yard gain.
He's got some quick moves. And what we're going to have to see, Gary, he breaks that play quickly through the defensive line and linebacker corners in the secondary. What LSU has to do then to break him for a touchdown, make sure the wide receivers come in and block on the safeties to give him another alley and spring.
Curly Hallman has had the tailback by committee most of this year, playing a lot of guys, but Jacquet could be the guy they've been looking for. Luke back to throw on a first down. Over the middle, complete to Kitchen with the 35. He's to the 30. Looked like that ball almost didn't get put away, but he was able to hang on. Michael Rogers made a stop, a gain of 20, as Kitchen playing with a badly bruised shoulder, which they have a special pad on, making the catch.
He took a pretty good shot after he got turned upfield.
He's coming off the field right now and kind of moving that arm around, Lynn, like it might be bothering him.
He got bounced around like he was one of those pinball machines.
From the 30-yard line, Luke gives to Jacquet again, and the sophomore takes it to the 25, to the 24. The ball is loose. Let's see. Nope. He got it under his arm. Looked like some players diving around as though it might have come loose. But Jacquet hangs on, and he takes it inside the 25 to the 24. Curry and Rockwell combine on the tackle.
Well, those bodies you saw flying, Gary, were just guys in their own individual battles. They just happened to fall over the pile late.
It's just SEC football, right?
You got it.
29 seconds left now in the quarter. Second down, 4. Luke, quick hitch, far side, complete to Mike Garrett. And Garrett inside the 15 to the 14, another first down.
Very good move on Chad Luke's part, came to the line of scrimmage. I have to believe he was calling an audible because he saw them coming with the blitz. He saw he was going to have man coverage, called a quick passing play so he wouldn't be under a lot of pressure, got the ball away clean, and they moved the sticks because he picks up another first down.
Boy, this is a big drive for LSU. Down 10 to nothing, nothing going well as we come to the end of this first quarter. So Curly Hallman's team now putting some pieces together. Gene Stallings and the Tide with a 10 to nothing lead. Climbing back in this because the last 4 plays they picked up 3 first downs.
And if you look at Alabama, 70 yards rushing, if you multiply that by the 4 quarters we have in the ball game, they'd be right on the money with their 276 average per game.
58th, the national championship. That was Billy Cannon, the Heisman Trophy winner that played on that team. We start the second quarter. First down, handoff to Jacquet, and Curry went sliding over. Is he quick? Did he close that one down, number 80?
That's a perfect play, Gary, to illustrate how quickness on the defensive line comes into play. There was a hole opening up on the left side of the line. If he had gotten to it, we're talking about at least an 8-9 yard pickup in the game. But Curry sliced in from his in position to make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
6'6", 265, a junior. Great physical specimen. No gain on the play. Kitchen has come back into the game. He split to the top of the field. Wesley Jacob to the near side. Chad Luke trying to get the Tigers on the scoreboard. Throwing far corner. Kitchen. Did he make the catch? Yes. He did. Touchdown. Oh, what a catch by Kitchen. 15 yards.
You remarked before in the first quarter how important it was from Alabama to get on the scoreboard quick to quiet this LSU crowd. Right here, Todd Kitchen gets him back into the ball game. The catch is wonderful, but watch him make sure he stays in bounds. He stutter steps right there. There's the catch. 1 foot in. That's a pro move all the way, Gary.
Oh, it's tremendous play by Kitchen. Point after attempt now by Pedro Suarez. And it's a 3-point game. 14-14 to go in the first half. And Todd Kitchen with his 4th touchdown catch of the year. And what footwork, a la Lynn Swan.
Chicago's Penn State. Michigan invades Illinois, or Oregon at UCLA. It's game 2 of an ABC college football doubleheader next Saturday.
Well, we're just marveling on the play that Todd Kitchen made. There's the drive, the 15-yard touchdown catch. For Loop, that was his 6th touchdown toss. He was 3 of 3 on the drive for 44 yards. 6-play drive, and 4 of those plays went for first down. Kickoff deep, Chris Anderson. And Anderson, who's about their 3rd-string tailback, will be starting a lot of places. Brings it out to the 28-yard line. Ivory Hillard made the stop there. He is a nephew of Dalton with the New Orleans Saints. Anderson last week, I should say last year, had 116 yards against this LSU team. Let's go back and look at this play to Todd Kitchen.
Well, what you have to marvel at is the maturity of this young man, the poise. He's under pressure. He's going to beat number 1, Stacey Harrison, who has 3 interceptions coming into this game. He gets right there, just holds his body back, concentrating with his eyes, hands. It all comes together.
Beautiful play. Handoff now, straight ahead to Kevin Turner, and he runs into congestion. You can see now the motion has changed a little bit in this game.
Well, a couple of things, Gary. Obviously, Todd Kitchen's touchdown catch, but when they stopped Alabama, forcing them to kick the field goal, that's a key play for the defense. That's a key situation that makes them feel better about what they're doing. They know they can stop this football team now. Now they have to hope it carries over and they keep focused.
From the 30-yard line, a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Jay Barker wants to throw. Delivers to Kevin Lee. And Lee, the sophomore from Mobile, across the 35, just about to the 36. It'll bring up 3rd down, 2 yards to go. Lee hasn't caught that many passes. That's only his 7th of the year. Corey White was on the stop along with Ray Adams. 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
LSU, not a team that likes to blitz a lot, comes into this ball game wanting to give Jay Barker a lot of different looks, hopefully confusing him, thinking they're going to blitz, then backing out to zone coverage.
Pitch comes to Derek Lassick, and you talk about a guy that runs hard. This junior from Haverstraw, New York, does the job, but there is a penalty flag. It would be enough for the first down, but let's see what the flag is all about. White and Walker combine on the stop for LSU.
Is it holding?
That's the 3rd time. 3rd holding call against Gene Stallings' offensive line.
Yeah, they go from a 3rd and short situation, now repeat the down 3rd and long. Gives LSU's defense a chance to make the big stop here and possibly giving the offense its best field position of the day.
We mentioned Lassick a moment ago that came in. There's absolutely no drop-off from Stacey to Lassick. They have so many good running backs. Now, wait a minute, it's holding against LSU. Wow, that's a surprise.
Sure is.
They had never pointed until now, and so it will give Alabama a first down at the 49.
Well, folks, all those things I said, forget about it.
Well, I think he pointed the other way.
He did.
At the 49 now of LSU. Barker pitching to Lassick. Watch this guy run. He just takes it to people. Look at him. Stay on his feet to the 41. Derek Lassick. He was the number 2 rusher a year ago. He is a guy that Gene Stallings said, I don't think I've had anybody that runs harder than this guy does. And he's coming out now. He's shaking up on the play.
He dove over that pile, took a little step over some bodies, and he took about 4 or 5 licks on that one play, Gary.
Picked up 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2. Hand off to Turner, and Turner's got the first down to the 35. So Alabama coming right back at him. We're going to show you, document that the officials do make mistakes once in a while.
Calls holding and points to the Alabama side.
Curly Hallman was in shock when they started marking the yardage off the other way.
Alabama just continues to pound up the middle.
First down at the 35 for the Crimson Tide. Stacey in the ball game now, and he may get a couple of yards. What a story. Saran Stacey missing all of last year with a severe knee injury he sustained in the first game, battling back and leading the SEC in rushing. What a great young kid he is. I had the opportunity to meet him this year in Phoenix, visit with him. And he made a point of saying hello to me way up here in the press box.
Yeah, he came over, introduced himself to me on the sideline, and said he met you down there and just wanted to say hello.
What a class act he is. Second down now, a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Barker back. And I think that one was short hop. It was incomplete. Lee, the intended receiver. Coming up at halftime, the Prudential halftime report. Roger and Bo will run down the top 25 scores and bring you the latest college football news and highlights. Plus, Dr. Paul Geekus, a member of the NCAA's Committee on Competitive Safeguards and Medical Aspects of Sports, will discuss the NCAA's reactions to AIDS and athletics in the light of the developments this week concerning the Magic Man, Magic Johnson. Barker back to throw. And at the 15-yard line, a rolling catch is made by Prince Wembley. What a catch by number 32, an 18-yard gain.
Wow, that was very close to being short hop. Everybody from LSU just about back in a zone coverage. Not much pressure was put on Barker. He had a chance to roll out, look downfield, and find his prince of receivers.
Oh, the prince of receivers, the junior from Miami, Florida. 18-yard gain to the 15. Handoff Turner again. Turner to the 5. Boy, is he something. One year he caught 48 passes for Alabama. That is a record for running backs. He blocks so well, and you can see how well he's carrying. He's carried the ball 7 times already for 56 yards. And he brings up now 2nd down and a yard to go.
And he's putting a lot of black and blue marks on Washington and Walker and the linebackers for LSU.
Quick pitch, Stacy. Stacy's got a block. He's going to take it in. Touchdown, Alabama.
Guess who threw the block?
Turner.
You got it. Kevin Turner. Gene Stallings always preach discipline, hard work. Watch the teamwork right here in the discipline. They charge, they come off, blocking off the pursuit. Right there. You don't see is Kevin Turner in the backfield throwing the key block. Stacy almost lost that football, but getting it into the end zone safe.
Well, they've had a drive of 84 yards that culminated in a field goal. This one was 72 yards. Weddington's point after is on the way. It's good. So Alabama takes the crowd out of it again as they've retaken their 10-point lead, 17-7. Way back to 1895, the third longest in Alabama football history as far as a rivalry or a series is concerned. Only the series Auburn and Ole Miss are older. And here we are, the crowd, neighborhood of 80,000 at Death Valley. Stacy just a moment ago with the touchdown. He scored a touchdown today, and that bodes well for the Tide. This kickoff very short. The up back's going to take it at the 25-yard line, and a big hit as he gets to the 28. That's Thomas Simon, the guy who fielded that short kickoff. And so the line of scrimmage will be just short of the 30, and that's where LSU will start it. 17-7 with 10:16 to go in this first half of play. Chad Loop, who was very good on the last drive, comes back in to run the team at quarterback. He started the year and then had a tough opener against Georgia and lost the starting job. And speaking of Georgia, they're playing that one in Jacksonville in the Gator Bowl. Florida has had a tough time with the Bulldogs through the years with a 7-3 lead. Loop, play action. Over the middle, way overthrown, is picked up by George Teague. Teague reversing field. And runs into his own man, Eric Curry, and goes down in a heap at the 38-yard line. So George Teague with his 4th interception of the year. He had one last week. He's now tied with Langham for the team leadership with 4. There is a penalty flag.
We'll take a look at it from the end zone. Chad Loop, he's got time. He just lets this one go and it gets away from him. Throws it way over the head of Todd Kitchen. Now, Kitchen should have turned around with that ball so high over his head and looked to see if someone was going to catch it. Chad Loop, number 16, the man that comes up. makes a tackle.
Well, they're not going to get the field position they wanted. There's a clip on the run back, and so they'll move the ball back to the Alabama 46-yard line. Alabama having a lot of penalties in this game early. Other than that, though, they have played remarkably well. You know, Loop had trouble early in the year, Lynn, overthrowing guys. And there was a case of it again.
Yeah, that one just looked like it just got away from him. He just like it came out of his hand too early.
The 46, the Tide will have it. 10 minutes left in this first half. This is Stacy, and Stacy spinning off of people, gets just about to the midfield stripe. Knocked down there. Tonight, it happens. Tony pops the question. And what does Angela say? It's the episode you've been waiting for on Who's the Boss, followed by Growing Pains. All new comedy tonight on ABC. Popping the question.
Ah, yes. What will the answer be?
I have no idea. From the 15-yard line, we have a mishandled snap, and Barker able to get on it. Could expect that, I would think, Lynn. You have a new quarterback coming out underneath center, Todd Shields, or I should say Toby Shields. And you're going to have some of those mechanical problems when you change somebody. There is Shields, an outstanding student. Let's look at it.
The snap, the ball gets up. Just looks like Jay Barker let it go. He gets back to it.
Third down now, 7 yards to go from the 49 of the Tide.
LSU, everybody up in the line.
Looked like they were blitzing. They may have hauled it off, though, and did. Barker back, throwing near side. Prince Wimbley makes the catch at the 45, and he's going to spin for what appears to be a first down.
Now, Gary, this is what I don't understand, and I don't know whether it's being coached this way for this team or whether it's just a mistake. When you're going to show the blitz, to force a team to audible, hopefully throw a quick pass, make them change, if they do what you want them to, you have to believe the corners should come up on those receivers and not allow them a quick pass. That time the cornerback was about 8 yards off, giving them a big cushion, which is perfect for a short pass.
You're kind of in between, aren't you?
Yeah.
Hand off now to Martin Houston, the fullback. That last catch was indeed a first down, and he gets maybe a yard on this.
You know, that's why the team concept in football is so important. You can't have your defensive line linebackers doing one thing and then not having it backed up by your secondary. You all have to be on the same page, or else one goes for naught. Now take a look here. LSU's defense has been penetrating. They engage the blockers. Nose man frees up. Inside hand to make the stop.
They're playing with a lot of enthusiasm. Second down, virtually 10, as Turner has tough sledding. Gets inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Ricardo Washington, who at the start of the season was a tight end, and they moved him before about 12 days before the start of the regular season of play. Not very big, but runs so well, and they needed help because they funnel people into the middle linebackers.
That's the defensive philosophy. Have the down linemen engage the linemen, create some lanes. The linebackers will step up into it and make the play.
Third down now, 6 yards to go. Barker to Turner, and Turner has another first down. Boy, has he been a workhorse in this early going. He has been so tough. Reggie Walker, Mike Hewitt combined on the stop. He has 67 yards on 9 carries.
The offensive line for Alabama, Gary, that time engaged, but then we're able to slip off and get those inside backers. So that way, when Turner came through the line, he had enough room for that first down.
7 minutes left in the first half. Pitch goes to Stacy. Saran fighting his way to the 30. There's another penalty flag. Got a couple of yards. It was Ricardo Washington out of Bogalusa, Louisiana, over to make the stop.
I'll tell you, number 25, Daryl McCorvey, came up from his safety position, Gary, and took on Kevin Turner that time. I think gave him the worst of it on that one.
McCorvey's playing with a bad shoulder. You know, they were questionable coming into the game with him.
Didn't look bad on that last play.
Had a chop block by the offense, 15 yards from the line of scrimmage, repeating first down.
Well, that offensive line, look at Gene. He can't believe the penalties they've had up there.
Well, you know, they came into this game only averaging about 5.5 penalties a game, Gary, and about 48 yards. I mean, this is getting them way up above their average early.
Now, Florida could clinch the SEC title if they would win today against Georgia and Jacksonville, and Alabama would lose. They can clinch at least a tie by virtue of a win. And Gene Stallings' team right now with a 10-point lead, and look at the penalty situation. First down now, 27 yards to go. On the option is Barker. Nice pitch to Stacy. And Stacy running over people takes it to the 37. Boy, Stacy taking on those guys that time. Wayne Williams. He's a 200-pounder out of Geneva, Alabama, an 11-yard gain. And Williams is not all that big. He's 173 pounds, but he stayed with him.
Now watch this. Very good execution of the option. It's a good fake in here. Now watch. He holds. He's forcing the corner to make a decision. The corner makes a decision. He commits himself. Then he pitches the ball to Stacy. And Wayne Williams, number 23, comes over, makes a hit. With Marshall, number 14, coming over. A few extra bodies for weight to make the stop.
2nd and 15 now from the 37. Barker again broken up nicely that time. That was Rose Swan, who's been hurt so much this year. They feel like he has a great future ahead of him. He's just a sophomore.
I can just hear sometime during the year or later on in his career here at LSU, the fans will start going, row, 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 row.
His real name, his full name is Rover Rowe. So he gets up at 6'3", batted that one down, and it's 3rd down. Thus far, 5 of 7 on 3rd down conversions for the Tide. Barker being flushed out. He's in trouble. That'll be the first sack, and a big sack for LSU all the way back to the Tide 49-yard line.
Well, they don't blitz very often, but when they do, and they can get the kind of coverage they got on that last play, Gary, man-to-man coverage on the receivers, they were on them like glue. Not an inch between the corners, the safeties, and those receivers. The line comes in and gets the sack.
Loss of 14, the punt coming to Kitchen. He doesn't make the fair catch, and that's the way he likes to play. He is always trying to force the issue. He brings it out to the 27, 31-yard punt, 7-yard return, and LSU down by 10 has the football. Well, this is LSU's aquaculture program, run by undergrad and graduate students who specializes in the raising and care of the wildlife native to Louisiana. They raise crawfish, redfish, and alligators, which are released into the wild with radio transmitters attached to enable students to monitor their habits in the wild. I hope they don't release the alligators here.
Catch one of those and make a pair of shoes. We'll know where that guy's walking.
Handoff coming to Odell Beckham. And Beckham takes it across the 35, and he's very close to the first down. They like this guy. He's been fumbling a lot as Mark McMillan and Derek Oden made the stop on Beckham out of Marshall, Texas.
Well, Curley told us he had this young man in there playing him a lot, just wanted him to play and toughen him up some. He plays a lot on special teams, and right in that run, Gary, he showed me he's pretty tough.
He's their biggest running back at 193 pounds at that tailback spot. First down run. Moves it out to the 38. You see the time left in the first half. Loop on the play action. Up the field, Kitchen at the 45 with a 41. Mark McMillan makes the stop, and I'll tell you, this Kitchen runs great routes. That's a 20-yard completion on the play.
20-yard completion. There's an excellent pattern called. He's got a man holding down the short zone coverage underneath. He puts an inside fake there. The corner's being held. He runs a hook. The ball is on the inside. He drifts right back to it to make the catch. Nice adjustment.
He's exciting, isn't he? At the 41-yard line now of Alabama. Wesley Jacob will go in motion. Loop on a delayed handoff to Beckham, and he runs into trouble. John Sullins is going to wrestle him down, the senior out of Oxford, Mississippi. And so that play didn't go for very much. It'll bring up a 2nd down. Sullins is, what was it that Gene Stallings said about him? He says he's just a tough, down-home type of guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a controlled player, but he is hard-nosed.
His daddy was an assistant coach, SC, assistant at Auburn and Mississippi State, as well as Ole Miss. That's the reason he was from Oxford, Mississippi, so he's a coach's kid.
And Sullins is also nominated for the Butkus Award.
2nd down. See the plays in this quarter. LSU doesn't have the ball all that much. 2nd down and 12. Luke in a little bit of trouble. A flag on the play. Up the field. It's complete with Jermaine Williams. And Williams to the 30 and tackled there. That would be enough for the first down, but let's see what the penalty's all about. John Copeland was coming through, and it's going to be against LSU.
A face mask against LSU.
Unless he's pointing the wrong way.
Take a look at the pursuit. Alabama's got the blitz on. See people coming. Number 80, John Sellens, the man we were just talking about. John Copeland's 94. Putting the pressure on, the ball's thrown complete.
Offensive face mask, 15 yards from the spot. Repeat, second down.
Well, we don't know where that occurred. That was a good job by Loop. He was in a lot of hurt back there and was able to complete what would have been a first down.
Jermaine Williams, number 32, the man who made the catch, made a great move by continuing to come to the quarterback when he was in trouble.
So that'll move it back inside the 35, and it's a long ways to go now for a first down. Vincent Fuller now coming out of the ball game. Beckham replaces him. It's going to be second down and 33 yards to go. Loop, shovel pass. Again, nobody is fooled, as Beckham had no place to go, and Curry was there again. And I'll tell you, Eric Curry is making such penetration, I don't know how they can get that play ever to work.
It almost looked to me as if Eric Curry was tackling him before he even got the ball. We'll take a look. Curley comes in right there. No, the ball was in the air.
Wow. He checked him out in a hurry, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he did. Maybe they saw that in the film and they were just ready for it.
Boy, that's twice they've snuffed it out. Third down and 39 now. They're going backwards. They're at the 30-yard line. They need to go to the 31 of Alabama for a first down. Loop in trouble. He's going to get some of it back to the 40. Excellent job of running the ball to the 41, but still a long ways to go for the first down, and Luke may be hurt. I'm impressed with this guy. He got off to a shaky start, and that right shoulder doesn't look good right now.
No, he's in a lot of pain, Gary.
That would mean that Jesse Daigle, a sophomore, also from Baton Rouge, would come in at quarterback if he can't continue. Griffith will punt the football. Palmer is back at the 20. That's returnable. Line drive. Palmer at the 25, and good coverage by the Tigers as they stop him at the 28-yard line. Let's go back and look at Loop as they look over his shoulder.
Now we know we've grown accustomed to seeing quarterbacks slide, but he's trying to get that first down, hoping he can just get to the outside. Sam Shade, number 31, is a man coming over for the stop, and right there, he just hits the turf. Now this turf is very soft, but he still hits that pretty hard. I don't know at this moment whether it was his shoulder, Gary, or the elbow that is hurting him.
Yeah, that ball cradle like that, it even accentuates the problem. Here's a handoff to Lassick, who's back into the game now, and he is able to dart his way across the 30 to the 31-yard line. And there's Daigle. He started 3 games for the Tigers this year. He's getting ready should he need to come in, as we have 1:12 left in the first half. 32-yard line now, second down and 6 for Alabama. 17-7, the Tide with the lead. Jay Barker pitches back to Lassick again. Lassick across the 35. He's got the first down across the 40 to the 43. Anthony Marshall made the stop there.
And with 49 seconds, Gary, to play here in the second quarter, we should probably point out that Barker is leading his team very well. The running attack
really has. Next week, don't forget, number 2 Miami takes on number 1 Florida State. Everybody looking forward to that one. Some of you will see Notre Dame, Penn State, or Michigan, Illinois. Back to throw. Barker going deep, overthrows Kevin Lee, and broken up nicely that time by Ray Adams. He started to say overthrow, and I don't think he did. He ran to the ball so well, he exploded to the ball, and the ball wasn't underthrown. It was Adams making a good play.
And Ray Adams was so far back on the play, no one was fooled. Looked like they're in kind of a zone coverage. Receiver was running like a hook and go. Adams was back, and matter of fact, if he had done a better job of judging the pass, he would have picked it off.
Tell you, Kevin Lee was the state sprint champion in Alabama his senior year, and he really took off on that one. And off this time to Turner. Turner to the 50. Be tackled there as time expiring here in the first half. Ricardo Washington. They've made that one gasp effort to try to get on the scoreboard. Now apparently a little more content to just take their 10-point lead in the locker room, but now they'll call a timeout.
As I started to say, Danny Woodson not starting in this ball game, but Jay Barker done a great job just handing the ball off, making the running attack, has worked well. Alabama has not missed a beat in terms of their offensive game plan and strategy. One bobbled handoff, but he recovered that one well.
3rd and 4 now when Alabama comes back. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining, just short of the midfield stripe. I tell you, this Alabama team lost only to Florida. They are a team that has gained steam as the year has worn on. They're looking for their 7th straight win. They'll have a game coming up, a week off, where they get ready for Auburn in Legion Field, and Auburn's a home team this year.
Well, right now, I'm sure Gene Stallings is concerned about the fact that this Alabama football team has given LSU a number of windows in which to climb back through and into this ball game. They're up 17-7 at the moment, but LSU could very well have been on the scoreboard with another 7 points.
3rd down now, and 4 yards to go. That's what the Tide has done on 3rd down conversions. You see the time remaining in the first half. Barker's going to go deep again, and he makes a connection. It's Kevin Lee to the 25, and they're going to call another timeout to stop the clock. 25-yard gain. 1 timeout left for the Tide. They have it at the 25. We'll be back in just a moment. Alabama has elected to go for the field goal with 9 seconds. Be a 42-yard attempt. Now, Matt Weddington has kicked one of 27 and 25 yards. Those coming last week. So this would be a career long from 42. Jeff Wall will hold. Trying to build their 10-point lead. A high snap. Weddington's kick is on the way, and the kick is good. And what a boost that's going to be to Gene Stallings' kicking game.
I have to believe, Gary, and he tried to go for the big play early on, see if his team could come away with a touchdown in these last few seconds. They didn't do it. He calls a timeout, figuring, well, let's move the ball downfield, give my kicker a chance. It might be long, but we've got nothing to lose. If he makes it, it might be the kind of success that gives him confidence for the rest of the season. It's a good snap, a good hold. Matt just gets his foot into it, and he's got a little bit left on this.
And he hit it right down the middle. You realize that's the first field goal this year over 40 yards for Alabama. And as we mentioned, Gene wasn't sure who was going to kick today. He had talked about using James Tooley. He had Hamp Green that he had used earlier in the year. He brought Weddington in last week after Hamp Green missed his first 2 and had him kick a couple of chip shots. But boy, you're right. What a confidence builder that would be for Weddington. Don't forget, at halftime, scores, highlights, and of course that tragic development on Magic Johnson. We'll have some guidelines as to how the NCAA is going to approach it. The AIDS and the education. What a remarkable man, Magic Johnson, in the press conference that he held this week. It has stunned the nation. At the same time, what a spokesperson he's going to be. Cole now will be kicking off for the Tide with 4 seconds left in the half. Fuller and Williams back deep for the Tigers. He'll just drill that one down the middle. The short man picking it up. And out to the 35-yard line comes the Tigers. That's Sammy Seamster, a backup fullback. Halftime, Alabama leading at 20-7. What do we do? 20-7 lead. And we're going to take a look at the individual leaders first for the Crimson Tide. I tell you, Tommy Barker's done a very good job. Jay Barker has, as in that first half, he engineered the Tide to the 20 points, 7 of 10 completions. Didn't turn the ball over. Turner, the big rusher, 73 yards, and he distributed the ball very well to his wide receivers, Lynn.
He sure did. Moved it around very nicely, striking some kind of balance between the run and the pass. But as we mentioned earlier, that Palmer is not up there with his big punt return. Special teams doing a great job.
They call it the deuces loose, number 2. And looking at LSU, I thought Luke did a very commendable job. He did suffer the 1 interception. Now, watching on the sideline, looks to me like we're going to have a quarterback change. I think Jesse Daigle is going to start the second half. Jacquette gave him a little bit of a lift there.
But no one's been able to come in terms of the running game and make the big play. Take a look at the possessions of Alabama in the first half. Their own 12, they came up with a field goal. Field position has been good for them.
If you look at LSU and their possessions, their longest drive was 6 plays, and they got some points out of it.
And 1 touchdown, and they can move the ball against Alabama. And what they have to hope for here is that they do get a little better field position. Maybe they can make a big play, create a turnover, a fumble, or an interception, and get into this game right away. They're down 20-7, but they're certainly not out of this ball game.
We don't even see Chad Luke. It's going to be Daigle, the new quarterback, the sophomore from Baton Rouge. There he is. And looks like he may have put on some extra pads. But Daigle, we think, is going to come in. We'll wait and see. There is his stats on the year. He started 3 games this year. He is very quick, runs the option very effectively for the Tigers. As Pedro Suarez kicking off on the near side. Chris Anderson at the goal line will bring it out. Up to the 15, to the 20, and tackled at the 23. Alabama will start from there. Crowd today, 78,838, the 14th largest crowd ever here in this beautiful, magnificent setting for college football. Rodney Young made the stop. They're going to mark the ball just across the 24. And there's the upset, Tennessee over Notre Dame. And look how the Irish jumped on top early, 21-0 in the first quarter. What a win for Johnny Majors and the Vols and the SEC. Barker pitching Saran Stacy, and he's in trouble, going nowhere. Excellent play by Sean King. This is the guy the coaches said they really don't know how good he can be, and he doesn't either, for that matter. He has so much potential, a sophomore out of Monroe, Louisiana.
He's blessed with so much natural talent and ability. But what the coaches say is that he needs to really focus. He can't just go off like a loose cannon. They like more aggressive players on defense, but he's really got to channel it.
Loss of 4 back to the 20-yard line. Just underway, second half. Parker, the quarterback, has Palmer in motion now. Play action, beautiful fake, and he bounced the ball to Palmer.
Hello.
Well, it was a nice fake. 3rd and 14. Christy Phillips, the gymnast. She's the youngest gymnast ever to appear on the front of a Sports Illustrated magazine.
She's about 13 years old when she did it.
Yep. Won the America Cup. Had the opportunity to do the World Gymnastics Championships this year, and I have so much respect for those athletes. What discipline, dedication they had. 3rd and 14 now for the Tide. Blitz coming. Nope, they pulled it off. Barker back. Delivers to Wembley, and Wembley can't do it. He trapped it. It hit the ground. And so LSU is able to hold on the first series. Ray Adams defending on the play. And the dangerous Todd Kitchen will go back to receive the punt.
Well, that time the LSU's defense makes the smart play. They show blitz. They pull out of it, forcing an audible at the line of scrimmage. Secondary comes through.
Tank Williamson, you see his average in the first half, not all that good. Kitchen back. And he's coming up on the fly. The 45. He's going to be hemmed in and dropped there, but he's always seeking the big play. He's fun to watch. 29-yard punt, 4-yard return. LSU with a football when we come back. Will not start this series as we begin the first snap for LSU. And this guy, Jesse Daigle, comes in, and what a great field position to come into. He has the ball to 46 of Alabama.
I think that's the best of the day. The defense came out and did what they had to do. Now they've got the opportunity to score quickly.
Abel the fullback. Jacquet is the tailback. That's Jacob going in motion. Hand off to Jacquet. And Jacquet showing his quickness, carrying the pile with him, and he's very close to a first down. John Sullins made the stop. Now remember, Jacquet is only 175 pounds. But he kept pumping those legs, didn't he?
We'll take a look at it. Godfrey is a center. He's on Stewart. He takes him on. Stewart gets him up very quickly, and then he's able to get down underneath him just a bit to keep him away from the play.
That's impressive.
Actually looked like Stewart wasn't trying that hard, to tell you the truth.
Gain of 9. 2nd and a yard. Jacob in motion again. Daigle gives to Abel, and Abel, not easy. I don't know if he got the first down or not. He tried to hit off that right-hand side. Copeland and Sullins were there.
We're about 2 light years away from the field in this booth, but from here it doesn't look like he made it.
So Abel, who is a sophomore out of Baton Rouge, out of Catholic High School, a 215-pound sophomore, didn't get the first down. It's third down and still a yard.
Sometimes, Gary, a team can suffer in adversity, losing a player, a bad situation that pulls them together, makes it a little tougher.
0 for 4 on third down conversions thus far. They have an eye strong right, and Alabama. Encroachment, or were they drawn off?
Well, you know, Gary, early in the ball game, number 73, the guard, Ronnie Simnich, was moving quite a bit and hadn't got called for it.
Snap, defense offside, 5 yards, first down.
And hadn't got called for it. I think if he continues, he's eventually going to get caught.
Well, this time it goes against the Tide, and that'll give him a first down by penalty. Moving the ball to the 32. Stallings had a lot of penalties. He's not happy about it.
No. Keep it.
You can see they're much more effective at night. We'll talk more about that. If you ever come in here at night, I did years ago, it's intimidating. Here's Daigle on a sprint out. He's got running room. He's going to throw to Kitchen. He makes a juggling catch. Well, they got to get that down stick down or somebody's going to get hurt. Antonio London was over there. Boy, you got to knock that stick down. And they didn't have time to, evidently.
Take a look. The receiver is coming to the sideline. Daigle does have lots of room to run. Looking for a receiver. I was afraid he was going to try and go too far downfield, but Kitchen bobbles it a little bit here, grabs control, and the guy doesn't get, the official just doesn't get that stick down in time. You know, that's how Bubba Smith got hurt.
Yes, it is.
Like when he was playing for the Baltimore Colts.
It's a good point.
Ended up with a knee operation. He was finished.
Kitchen with his 4th catch. Boy, is he something special. First down now as they are resetting everything. Line of scrimmage will be at the 21-yard line. Well, they're going to measure to see, or are they just resetting it?
I think they're resetting it at second down.
Well, they'll be just short of the first down. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll be selecting a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game from each team. And for the 21st year through the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 will be donated to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. So they were short, but a matter of inches. How about 3 inches?
I'll go for it.
Second down. Abel the fullback. He's got it to the 15. First down to the 13. George Teague, the free safety, made the stop. A gain of 9. I tell you, LSU with Daigle at the controls have been very efficient on this drive. Substitution, Jacquette will replace Vincent Fuller at tailback.
The LSU offensive line, they take charge. Defensive line for Alabama tries to burrow low, but they keep him down. Putting a nice little lane off tackle.
A poor punt of 29 yards gave LSU this good field position. They're capitalizing on it, but this time Antonio London storming through, throws Jacquette for a loss. I tell you, London has been a big play guy. He's blocked a couple of field goals this year, and Gene Stallings said one thing about it: he will run you down.
If he doesn't have long arms, they're a little bit longer now. He just reaches back with a big right arm and just hog ties it.
Pretty impressive. Kitchen goes split to the top of the field along with Jacob. A loss of 4 on the play. Third down, 14. Rolling out. Up the field, intended for Kitchen, broken up, incomplete. Kitchen over the middle. Now third down coming up. A Stacey Harrison and Sam Shade defending. Their Shade. He's the true freshman out of Birmingham. Been playing a lot along with Tommy Johnson, another true freshman.
Well, this is a good play for LSU, with the exception of Daigle just not getting his feet set. Throws the ball behind the receiver.
Third down, 14 yards to go from the line of scrimmage, the 17. Jacobs split to the near side, Kitchen to the top. Single running back is Abel.
And they're blitzing.
They are. They're coming after him. He gets it off. Complete to Mike Garrett. They'll be considerably short of the first down. They had the blitz coming. John Sullins was blitzing. It's a 5-yard pickup on the play. Garrett with the catch. The junior out of the Woodlands in Texas.
Now you had to know the blitz was going to come. They had a little quick pass called here. It's getting pressure. Look at the big man go up in the air. John Sullins. He gets the ball away well short of the first down.
Fourth down, and here comes one of the better field goal kickers in the country. Pedro Suarez. He's 11 of 15. This will be a 30-yard attempt. Daigle will hold. Suarez's kick is on the way, and it's good. And so the Tigers get 3 out of a field position that began at the 46. 20-10. We come back. After a late touchdown pass beat Auburn on October 8th, 1988, the crowd noise at Tiger Stadium was so intense, the vibrations registered on the seismograph, or the earthquake machine, or on the Richter scale, whatever it might be. And I don't know if I believe that or not, but it's a fact. Kicking off now is LSU. Mounting along the ground, Lassick will get it there. Comes up to the 25 and tackled there. At the 25, Alabama, whose first series went no place in the second half. They started at the 25-yard line. Let's go back. This game started in a very exciting way. A 90-yard punt return by David Palmer, the freshman, made it 7-0. Weddington then with a 21-yard field goal. Todd Kitchen, a brilliant 15-yard touchdown catch. Stacy on a 6-yard run. And then Weddington, the longest field goal of his career, 42 yards out. And Suarez, Pedro Suarez, a moment ago, cut the lead back to 10 with his field goal as we're now in the third quarter. Here is Stacy, bringing it close to the 30. John Morgan, number 90, made the stop. Rand Stacy with 36 yards on 9 carries. 2 years ago in '89, Stacy had 211 yards against LSU right here in Tiger Stadium. Of course, missing all of last year and battling back this year. A very courageous guy.
With all the talent they have in the backfield, it's tough for one player to be in there long enough to pick up those kind of yards. 2nd and 6.
Hand off to Stacy again, and he drags tacklers close to a first down at the 35. Well, we mentioned that Tennessee upset of Notre Dame. What a big SEC win that is. And in the second quarter in the Gator Bowl, Florida well on their way to victory there. And Vanderbilt, that's their 4th straight win for Vanderbilt. Tennessee, that's the big one, of course, up in South Bend. And Auburn, after losing 3 straight in Jordan-Hare, didn't lose today, did they?
No, matter of fact, the head coach from Southwest Louisiana said we're probably just what Auburn needs, a big win to kind of take their minds off all the other attention they've been getting.
It was a first down by measurement to the 35. Early Hallman's team has been down by 10 3 different times in this game. Alabama will this time have Stacy flanked out to the near side. It'll be Palmer in motion. Hand off, goes to the far side. And it's Stacy bringing it across the 45, the 50, and tackled in the LSU end of the field. 16-yard gain.
This is when you start seeing the wrinkles off the plays we've looked at for most of the first half. You saw Palmer going in motion most of the time in the first half. The ball would go in that direction, if not to Palmer, to someone else. This time they gave him the same look, the same action, then gave it to Saran Stacy, going against the grain the other side.
Anthony Marshall comes out of the game. He's been shaken up. Hand off this time to Turner at 73 yards in the first half. He's to the 45 there. Some juggernaut football right now by Alabama. They're coming right at him. Ruvelro, is that the way you pronounce it? Ruvelro. Swan made the stop. I'll just call him Rue. Boy, he's a good player, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
See the arms on him a while ago?
Arms I don't want wrapped around me, that's for sure.
Just short of the 45. 2nd down. Long 6. Pitch comes back to Palmer. And Palmer is met at the 43-yard line. Pretty good reaction that time by LSU. Mark Boutte, haven't called his name that much. The senior out of Lake Charles was over to make the stop.
Take a look at the blocks here. You know, Stacy's an excellent runner, but he's called upon the block too, and he's getting out here. Good technique. He gets down low, just pushes the man a little bit to the outside. Wasn't able to take him down all the way, but you like to know that your tailback, after you've been blocking for him all day, is going to lower his head for you.
3rd down and 4. Parker on the blitz, and he gets rid of it. It'll be intentional grounding. Ray Adams coming on the near side, untouched on the blitz, got to it. The penalty flag will be for intentional grounding.
On the blind side, Gary, Parker drops back the pass, And watch him. He's going to be facing the other way. He's got his back to the blitzing man. It's number 21, Ray Adams. He doesn't see him until right now. Now, Ray almost makes a critical error. Instead of going right to the body, he goes off to the side.
Nice play by Adams, the junior out of Jasper, Texas. Loss on the play of 13 yards. And so 4th down comes up, and Tank Williamson to punt, and not a good punt again. Kitchen comes up at the 30, 35. He's to the 40. And this exciting senior brings the ball just short of the 45 before Will Brown made the stop. Todd Kitchen, the all-SEC pick, grew up right here in Baton Rouge. Position the other time he punted one 29 yards, set it up at the Alabama 46. This was a 31-yarder, and they have it now at the LSU 43. And Daigle, who got a field goal out of the last one, still the quarterback. Pitch comes back to Beckham. And Beckham hit hard as he comes across the 45 by John Sullins.
And there's a big reason, I think, for his low average, Gary. LSU felt that they could force a bad punt or block one by their linemen, because Alabama usually offsets the punter to whatever side they're going to have the least number of people rushing. First time they tried to punt this afternoon, LSU shifted some people, came in, almost got one block. So Alabama has been forced to punt very quickly, and he hasn't been able to set up the way he wants to.
2nd down and 8. Daigle, quick inside pass, almost picked off. That ball hit Mark McMillan in the face mask, I think. He couldn't react quickly enough on that slant intended for Todd Kitchen. That ball hit something on it, didn't it?
It did. Alabama, I think, assessing the situation correctly, they've got to come after Daigle to try and confuse him, put some pressure on him, or else he just might sit back and pick them apart.
By the way, Robert Stewart, their outstanding nose guard, has been shaken up. He had a bad ankle from a week ago. He's come out of the ball game. James Gregory has replaced him. 3rd down and 8. They go back again. Pressure coming up the middle. Flushed out of there. Throws it, and the ball dropped. That would have been enough for the 1st down if Fuller could have hung on.
Number 90, John Sullins, is the man they sent up the middle, Gary.
And that was Oden, Derek Oden, defending on the play. So that drive is short-lived, and LSU will send in Griffith to punt the football.
Number 2, David Palmer.
Palmer goes back to the 15. 7:12 to go in the 3rd. 20-10, Alabama.
In the game for the Tigers.
I say kick it to the side about 40 yards out of bounds.
Or kick it down to New Orleans or something. Boy, this is a nice punt. He did exactly what you said to do. That is perfect. That ball is going to go out of bounds. Where, at the 1? Now they're going to mark it at the 9.
Oh, no!
I think it maybe was the 1, don't you?
I thought it went out just outside of the goal line marker.
Let's look at the replay and see.
This is a beautiful punt. Don't kick it to Palmer. He is too dangerous. Look, the ball hits. That's inbounds. That's got to be inbounds, Gary.
If it is, it would be at about the 6-inch line because it went out before it hit the pylon.
That ball looked like it. There it is.
I don't know. It may have hit the line.
Maybe the corner hit the line.
I tell you,
But we've got replay. That official does.
Bill Webb and Jimmy Ressler had that one nailed, and I think it did hit the line. I think it was a good call. Moves it out to the 13. Next Saturday, boy, everybody's been waiting for this one. The scene being set. Miami against Florida State, live 12 o'clock Eastern. As that will be then followed by Notre Dame, Penn State, Michigan, Illinois, Oregon, UCLA. The Seminoles and the Hurricanes. 2nd down and 6. Pitch comes back to Stacy. Stacy is going to get the 1st down. Fumbled it. It's loose. Now they had the 1st down. They fumbled it backwards. Alabama recovered it, but it's going to be 3rd down coming up. Stripped by Ivory Hilliard.
Take a look. You know, when you're a talented runner and you have success, you're going to take these kind of hits. People trying to stop you. He goes up in the air. He's hit by Hilliard. Yeah, the ball. And Hilliard hit the ball as much as he did Stacy.
And then Roosevelt Patterson, a backup tackle, a sophomore out of Mobile, recovered it. So it's 3rd down and a yard. Parker giving off, and no place to go for Turner. He didn't get the first down, and look at the enthusiasm by that Tiger defense.
Mark Boutte, number 95. You said we didn't call his name earlier, but he, this time along with Mouton, number 59, combined for the biggest third play, I think, so far in the ball game, Gary.
What's happened is Alabama cannot seemingly get any field position. And part of it is because of their punting, and Williamson will punt inside the 5. And this is one of his better efforts. Kitchen going back to the 41, fumbled it, and he got it back. Dangerously close to losing that one. That was a 42-yard punt as Williamson delivers on that one. And still, LSU will have very good field position as Curly Hallman has it at the 42.
Well, he's going back. They've been playing up a little bit. It just goes right through his hand. You know, it's good that he was anticipating the short punt. Most guys usually have to line up about 40 yards from the line of scrimmage, then come up to the short punt.
And very quickly, LSU is ready to run the play. Daigle trying to hit Jacob. Jacob very well covered. Tommy Johnson, the freshman, out of Niceville, Florida. There he is, number 10, the true freshman. Really had very good coverage on the play. There's a Raider fan at Tiger Stadium.
Maybe the Raiders are his pro team, but his dad is definitely an LSU man.
From the 41-yard line, second down 10. This is Beckham to the 50, 45, first down. Casey Harrison and Sam Shade combine on the stop, and Beckham with a little burst that time for 16 yards. And
he did a nice thing in terms of deciding to go inside on this run after he got downfield. You're going to see number 48, Anthony Williams, downfield right there, number 1. Williams doesn't take the man. Beckham doesn't wait for him. He just says, okay, I'll just keep running inside. He does, picks up a few more yards.
16 total, just short of the 44. Inside, 5 minutes left in the third. Alabama by 10. Daigle now maybe making a check, and we have a penalty flag.
Too much time.
Yep, the play clock has expired, and there's inexperience. Daigle taking that time. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. So the 5-yard penalty will move it back outside the 47-yard line. Curly Hallman talked about what a great gentleman Gene Stallings is. He had played for Gene, had been an assistant coach with Gene. Respects him a great deal. Hand off to Beckham again, and Beckham getting some running room again. Takes it to the 40. This guy is running with determination. Sullins got him after a 9-yard gain on the play. I think Beckham is trying to redeem himself after fumbling so much last week.
Well, I think so. And this team for offensive unit for LSU, they're down by 10. They've got plenty of time. Although Alabama seems to be looking for them to throw the football more.
Alabama in this third quarter seemingly has been on defense all the time, backed into their end of the field. Daigle on a second down, gives off this time to Jermaine Williams, a fullback. He'll be a couple of yards short of the first down. They're going to spot the ball short of the 35. New tight end, Anthony Williams coming in. Sullins and Lemansky Hall made the stop. Curly Hallman had some great miracles when he was at Southern Mississippi. He beat Gene Stallings in Gene's first game in Alabama. Last year also upsetting Auburn. Florida State in '89. 3rd and 4 now, and we're going to have a timeout called by Alabama. They've got some confusion on defense. You know, they had too many men on the field. Whatever it was, they were indecisive, and they had to use a timeout.
Oh, if they could only have snapped the football, Daigle would have picked up that first down by penalty.
13 men we've counted on the field. If you're going to do it, you might as well get 13 on, not 12, right?
If they're going to give you a penalty for having 12, you might as well have as many as possible.
So Bama has a timeout with 3:29 left in the third. Gene Stallings, coach for 3 years of the Phoenix Cardinals. Texas A&M, 14 years an assistant with Tom Landry. He said he learned from the Bear that you don't coach players, you coach people. And he also learned from Tom Landry the X's and O's. He said, I don't think Tom Landry was ever wrong on X's and O's.
Now, one of the important things about being a good head coach is to have worked with people that you can learn from. No one person ever knows it all by himself. The most innovative coaches are people who are building on what they've learned from other people.
It's 0 for 6 on 3rd down now as Daigle takes the snap, gives it off to Beckham, and Beckham trying to get the first down. Did he get it? Did he get it?
I don't think he did, Gary. It's pretty close. Gary, I'm surprised at the way he was holding that football. He was covering it up so much, he looked like he was running very tight. He had a lot of room to the outside if he had broken to his left.
A yard to go and 4th down. A big decision, and LSU is taking no time in making that decision. They are going to go for it. 4th and a yard. Beckham, Jermaine Williams in the backfield. Big play in this game. Jacob in motion. Pitch comes back. Beckham. Big hit was put on by Teague. Oh, what a hit. There is a penalty flag, however, at the line of scrimmage. What a hit. It looked like Beckham would get the first down, and Teague unloaded. The penalty, I think, is against Alabama. It is. Wow. What a critical mistake by the Tide after that great defensive stop. Let's just listen to this hit, Lynn. We won't say a word. Beckham's the carrier. Oh.
Hello.
That was Teague, also Gregory, but it was mainly Teague. So 1st down by penalty at the 30. Handoff to Beckham again. And Beckham fights his way to the 22, make that the 27-yard line. Derek Oden on the stop. This guy has run tough, hasn't he?
Beckham is running very hard. You see him holding onto that football with 2 hands, not wanting the ball to pop loose.
43 yards on 7 carries. He gets a breather now as they make some changes. Leo Abel, the fullback, has come into the game, and Jacquette joins him in the backfield. 2nd down and 8. Pitch to Jacquette. Jacquette to the 20. 1st down. He's at the 18. Mark McMillan, the cornerback, only 5'8", 160, dropped him. Teague was also over there, and LSU is moving.
Last time they got inside the 20-yard line, they had to settle for a field goal early in this 3rd period.
It's been LSU in the 3rd period all the way. They keep hammering away. Thus far, they've gotten 3 out of the quarter. Scott Ray has come in. Carl Hankton's come in. 2 new wideouts. Daigle gives off to Jacquette again. Breaks the tackle inside the 15. Still on his feet inside the 10. Very close to 1st and goal. A 9-yard pickup. It was Hall and Gregory again, and you can feel the emotion now in Tiger Stadium. You can sense this LSU team right now is razor sharp. Second and a yard. 9th play on the drive that started from the 41 of LSU. Abel got the 1st and goal. He's to the 5. As the time left in the 3rd quarter. Gregory made the stop. LSU down by 10 over the 1st and goal, just short of the 5.
The Alabama defensive line, Gary, not penetrating as well. They're seemingly playing laterally on that line of scrimmage, and LSU is taking advantage of it, creating a hole, cutting back after they cross that line of scrimmage.
One thing to mention, Stewart is out of there, the big nose guard. He's been on this series hurt, and so they're running right at it, at that nose guard spot. 1st and goal at the 6. Daigle pitching to Jacquette. Nice open field tackle by Antonio Langham. Boy, that was a very good open field stop. The guy that Gene Stallings says is really going to be something. Just a sophomore out of Town Creek, Alabama. And that's going to be the last snap of the 3rd quarter. What a quarter it's been for the homestanding Tigers, who have climbed back in. When we come back, they'll have it at the 5. Second and goal there. We'll return with more action between Alabama and LSU after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Probably that ankle he hurt last week, and look at this. Alabama's allowed 6 scores in the 4th quarter in the last 12 games. And right now, on a second and goal from the 5, this is the 11th play of the drive. Only one of those plays that they attempted to pass. They've been on the ground the rest of the way. Dago has him at the line of scrimmage. Jacquet trying to go wide, and he's buried. Play designed to go up the middle, and he didn't see anything. Tried to go wide, and Curry, I should say, along with Sullins and Lemansky Hall, read it and dropped him back out at the 7-yard line.
Well, Lemansky Hall, playing an outside linebacker, came upfield from his position to take anything to the outside and push it back in. Actually, it got knocked down to the ground, got up, came back and made the play.
0 for 7 on 3rd downs is LSU. 3rd and goal from the 7 here. Jacob goes in motion. Dago running far side. Copeland giving chase. End zone, it's intercepted. Picked off. Langham with his 5th interception of the year. Boy, what a big play that is for Alabama.
Tough mistake here. All of his receivers are really covered, Gary. I really don't know where he was throwing that football. You see there were 3 white jerseys in between he and Todd Kitchen.
Yeah, Kitchen had no chance to get there, and that's Daigle throwing the interception. He hasn't played all that much. It's his 4th interception of the year and the 5th pickoff by Langham. They bring it out to the 20. Lassick trying to go wide. Ricardo Washington makes the stop, short of the 25. Well, they still only allowed 6 scores in the 4th quarter at Alabama defense.
Stats here from the 3rd quarter of the game through the 3rd quarter. You see LSU coming back in this ball game. 132 yards rushing is what's put them in that ball game. Unfortunately, they were not able to capitalize in that last series, and that may come back to haunt them, Gary.
Big play in the game. Langham with his 4th interception, stopping that drive, and now at the 25, it comes to Lassick again. And Lassick powers for the 1st down. I say runs hard, that's an understatement. Ivory Hilliard over to make the stop. 12-yard gain on the play. Scores around the state here. Alabama as Lassick now.
1st down, Alabama.
Will go off on the far side. He was shaken up earlier in the game and comes out again. He has 6 carries for 45 yards. And we have another LSU player down at the 27, and that's Rose Swan, the brilliant sophomore out of Shreveport, Louisiana. So they'll have a 1st down at the 35 when we pick up play once again with 13:29 left in the game. You know, Langham coming in here with 4 interceptions, now with 5, had been tied for the lead in the SEC with 4 other players. He had the flu earlier in the week, Langham did, and was in the hospital Tuesday and Wednesday. Still able to answer the call today. As Swan being helped off. He's had all kinds of problems with an Achilles tendon injury. And let's hope that's not what that is.
Yeah.
They could just get this guy healthy all the time. What a contribution he'll make.
Well, this LSU team does have a lot of grit, Gary. I mean, they fight hard. They're building a program. They're learning a new offensive and defensive system. Their new coaching regime. And there's a young man who's inspired them greatly, Gary, who's on the sideline watching his team. That's Donovan Cook. You see him there. He's got his own jersey and name on it. Donovan is suffering from cancer. And the team has more or less adopted him, and they're really wanting to play very hard for this young man.
Yep, 10-year-old. He has his own name on the back of that jersey, which is number 1. What an inspiration he is to these guys. He goes in the locker room with him, all the meetings that they had. 1st down now at the 35. Stacy across the 45. He is going to be knocked out just short of the 50 by Hilliard again.
Stacy carried.
13-yard gain by Stacy.
On the tackle.
Corey Raymond also over on that far side. Number 19 on the tackle. First down at the Alabama 49. Daigle would like to have that pass back, wouldn't he?
Oh, he sure would. I mean, you get in a situation like that, the team's moving down the field very, very well. Again, he only threw a couple of passes in that drive. One was incomplete and then picked off.
13-yard gain puts Stacy over 2,000 yards in his career as Turner now blasts inside the 45. He passed Tony Nathan in the career rushing list. Turner tackled by McCorvey and Hilliard. We understand that
Robert Stewart
got that sprained ankle. That's one he hurt last week against Mississippi State, and doubtful that he will return.
You know, you get a sprained ankle, give him a sideline, you put some ice on it. You figure sometimes you get a good wrap on it, you'll feel okay and come back into the ball game, but seemingly not the case today.
Second and 4. Stacy's got the first down, and now they're just grinding it out, killing the time, protecting their 10-point lead as Corey White made the stop that time for LSU. Next Sunday on ABC Sports, Stefan Edberg and the world's top tennis superstars make their way to Frankfurt, Germany for final round action in the ATP Tour World Championship. Be with us at 3 Eastern, 2 Central, and Pacific here on ABC.
You know, Frankfurt, Germany also hosts another terrific event.
What's that?
The Culinary Olympics.
Only you would know that. Here is Turner carrying, and Turner wedges things out, takes it inside the 35. Turner's been such a force today, hammering the ball right at LSU. Boutte on the stop, but Turner will get a breather.
In that first half, he was pounding people, blocking in, carrying the football. Very quiet in the third quarter.
Gene Stallings said about Turner, he's the kind of kid you'd love to have on your football team. Martin Houston replaces him at fullback. Curtis Brown, a freshman, split to the near side. Second down, 6. This is Lassick, and no place to go. Good reaction by Scott Wharton. Wharton, a senior out of Baton Rouge. His dad, Dr. James Wharton, was a former chancellor at LSU. He just plays with his heart. Palmer started this thing out with electricity, 90-yard punt return. Barker, very resourceful, running the team. They're right at their pace to get a 275 yards rushing per game. The 2 interceptions. Luke was hurt. Daigle throwing the interception in relief of him in the end zone a moment ago. 3rd and 7. Barker to Wembley, and a flag on the play. Coverage that time by Darryl McCorvey.
When you went through that summary, I was about to say, you know, we haven't heard a whole lot from that young man, number two for Alabama, Palmer. And then they just tried to get the ball to him. I thought when the game started, after that punt return from 90 yards, he'd be all over this field. But LSU has really come in, contained him throughout the game. On that play, they were trying to get the pass to him.
This flag occurred away from the pass. This is Kevin Lee, the wide receiver, and being held on by Wayne Williams. And so the penalty flag away from the ball as McCorvey on this side covering. And the penalty now sets it up at the 25-yard line, first down.
Now, some people may think it was a late flag, but if the ball had not been thrown, it would not have been a penalty.
Marker has him at the 25, trying to put the lid on this one to Stacy. Stacy changes direction, and look at this run to the 15. Beautiful run by Saran, Stacy, McCorvey, and Wharton make the stop.
Kind of interesting, you know, we're used to seeing some running backs, Gary, come up, change direction without stopping. I mean, just one step and go. Saran came in, almost came to a stop, then kind of drifted to his right, then started to pick up a little more steam before he was tackled.
He now has 94 yards on 16 carries. He's had 2 100-yard games this year, as high 180. As you can see, they're short of the first down. So Stacy's played very well against LSU. 211 yards and 89, and close to the century mark here today. 10:40 left. Swan, who was helped off the field a while ago, it was a sprained right knee, the sophomore who left the game. From the 15 now, the time. Stacy again. Nice change of direction. Good vision. And McCorvey again making the stop. That'll be a first down. Ricardo Washington also over there. Well, they just keep running these tailbacks at you in waves.
Take a look. This is really the only significant drive for Alabama in all of the second half thus far. And they put it together when they needed most, taking a lot of steam out of LSU with the interception when they were knocking at the door. Now they're knocking at LSU's door.
First down at the 12. Mishandled ball. They didn't make the exchange, and LSU's got it.
Nobody home.
John King, number 89, was the guy that came up with it. And as you were just talking about him putting it away, all of a sudden, there's a little window left open, and LSU is still alive in this football game.
Well, like I said, they were knocking on the door, but nobody was home to open it up. He looked like he tried to put that ball in there, but instead he put it on the hip. Never got into his stomach so he could hold on to it. John King comes over.
So, at the 12, Jesse Daigle will start the drive for LSU. Daigle to Kitchen. He makes a catch for a first down. Mark McMillan there. You don't think Daigle's not going to look for 49 on this drive?
Well, he's going to look for him. He wants to put the ball in there. That time he did a nice job on the rollout, getting his body turned, Gary, so he had more control over that pass. And I'll tell you, Kitchen reminds me of another receiver that came through LSU a couple years back, Wendell Davis, who now plays for the Chicago Bears.
He now has 5 catches for 77 yards. Daigle on the pitch to Jacquet. Jacquet not going very far as Antonio London, who can run so well. Lemansky Hall is a former safety, now playing linebacker, number 11. Read it so well, and there's virtually no gain on the play. There is Hall out of Valley, Alabama. He was a high school quarterback, an all-stater. Miami getting ready for the showdown with Florida State. Leading in the third quarter is not easy, though, is it?
No.
Second down, a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Hand up. Abel to the 30-yard line. They'll be 5 yards short of the first down.
Alabama's getting a lot of people on that defensive unit, Gary, up close to that line of scrimmage looking for the run. That time they got the ball past that defensive front. Stacey Harrison had to come up from the safety spot to make the tackle.
Boy, Virginia beating North Carolina State decisively today. Thus far, LSU has not converted any third downs. They're 0 for 8. Blitz coming up the middle, got it to Kitchen, and they got the first down. So that's the first time they've been successful on third down, and it was their money man, Kitchen, who I think is really hurting. Every time he gets up, he kind of windmills that arm, trying to loosen it up.
Trying to keep it loose, keep it from stiffening up. It was much colder yesterday and earlier this morning. Now he's warming up, I'm sure, down the field, but he really wants to keep that arm moving. He goes up for the pass, he catches it in front of his body.
6 for 85. There's a pass thrown and almost caught. George Teague defending on the play on Vincent Fuller. I tell you, Daigle took a real shot when he released the football.
He sure did. Take a look at this. Great defensive effort. He's going back. Blitz coming in from the outside. Man who hit him is Antonio London, 55. And then a big-time play by George Teague, knocking the ball down.
London everywhere, running from sideline to sideline. He picked Daigle up off the field after he hit him, but he really unloaded on him. Line of scrimmage now, the 38-yard line. Second down. Daigle looking, trying to get open on the near side. A great catch by Scott Ray. Oh, what a catch by Ray. There's a flag on the play. He's a sophomore from Baton Rouge Catholic High School. And for Ray, that is only his 3rd catch of the year. What's this?
was defensive pass interference is what I believe the flag is going to be for. But this ball is thrown out. He lays all the way out, catches it right on his fingertip.
Oh, man.
Mark McMillan was the man covering on the play.
That's 2 catches by a Tiger today. It's been outstanding. Kitchen on the touchdown, and this one.
That's a big gain.
He was held. They refused the penalty. First down at the 40. Dago rolling out. He's going to take off to the 35 and gets out of bounds. And I'll tell you, John Copeland was out to get him, and he tucked that ball under his arm, and he just got out of there. Michael Rogers, a freshman from Laverne, Alabama, an outstanding redshirt freshman, made the stop. And Daigle's coming right back at him after throwing the interception in the end zone on the last drive.
When the quarterback rolls out, you know he's looking to throw the football, and he's not running full speed. That way the defense realizes it, and they try and put a little more pressure, get over there quickly, and say, make up your mind, because we're coming after you.
So Florida looks like they're going to at least clinch a tie for the SEC today. Here is a handoff this time to Beckham. He takes some punishment and hangs on. Beckham downed at the 27, hit awfully hard. Stacey Harrison had the 2 interceptions last week against Mississippi State. Was there to register it. Watch this one.
This is just solid action. He's going to get hit there. Stacey Harrison comes up. That's Teague, number 13, who comes over. Lays another lick on him.
Dave Beckham is hanging on. He's taking some punishment. From the 27, first down. LSU trailing by 10. Play action by Daigle. Daigle over the middle. It's caught by Wesley Jacob to the 5. Jacob dives. Touchdown, LSU. The first catch of the game for Jacob, 27 yards.
Take a look. Not much pressure here. He's going to crossing pattern. Now it's a race. He's going to pick up a little bit of a block right here. That's Mike Garrett, number 12. It just took the legs out of Antonio Langham, number 43, allowed him to get in.
Suarez adds a point after, and it's a 3-point game. 7:32 left to go. And being on the road in Tiger Stadium, it's never easy. With his first catch of the game and his first touchdown grab of the season.
Perfect time to have it.
Yes, sir. 20-17. Suarez will be kicking off. David Palmer is in the middle. He's coming to the near side, though, and Lassick will return it. Up to the 15, going wide, and he'll be tackled at the 17. Let's go to New York now for this unusual play from Roger Twyvell.
Well, thanks, Gary. In the Yankee Conference third quarter, New Hampshire and Villanova 17-7. The Wildcats lead it. You call this a punterooski? The up man, Pat Smith, fakes it back, and he'll run it. He'll go 38 yards for the touchdown. Villanova would win it 33-7. These two teams at the top of the Yankee Conference, each with 1 loss apiece. Let's go back to Gary.
All right, we saw the Sugarooski last week. Remember, California ran a very similar play.
That's right.
Line of scrimmage now at the 18. Alabama with the 3-point lead. Pitch to Stacey. Across the 20 to 25. A tackle there. Running awfully hard again is Stacey. He's approaching 100 yards on the day, getting up very slowly. There is a penalty flag on the far side, and all of that humanity. Reggie Walker and Anthony Marshall over to make the stop. Good effort by Stacey. Let's see if it stands.
A 5-yard face mask against the defense. First down.
So they will have the first down. They ran it to the 25. They step off 5 more, and here it goes.
See Stacey running. See if we can see that hand come up. Right there on the face mask. Number 14, Anthony Marshall.
Stacey now with 104 yards. Third 100-yard day of the season. Turner opens. Listen to this crowd.
It takes 4 people to stop Turner.
White was there, Mouton, Clayton Mouton, the junior from Beaumont, Texas. You can see why it's so hard to win here. There's been good football players on the field, but I tell you, this crowd can be deafening.
They're glad the football team is into this ball game. 6:37 to go. Alabama the last time possessed it, ran it down the field, lost it on a fumble.
David Palmer's come into the lineup. Second down, virtually 10. Here's Lassie. Again, nothing.
Reggie Walker coming up with a big play.
If time allows, immediately following this game, we'll bring you the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report with Roger Twibel and Bo Schembechler, featuring scores and highlights from across the country. You heard about the big upset in South Bend. Right now, big third down coming up. 3rd and 9 for Alabama. 6 minutes left in the game.
Wouldn't be surprised to see LSU come after him.
Well, they backed off. They did not blitz. Parker stepping up, double pumps, and it's intercepted. It's picked off at the 45-yard line. Great play that time by LSU. And coming up with the interception is Carlton Buckles, a junior, with his 3rd interception of the season.
Well, they looked like they were going to come to blitz. They didn't. Quarterback Jay Barker is running around looking for a receiver. Last minute throws it, and a diving leap in front of the receiver. What a terrific play to steal the ball from Kevin Lee, number 37. He just lays out. He looks more the receiver on this play.
Buckles has been their nickelback all year long, and he comes up with a brilliant interception. At the 45, a give this time, and no place to go is Jockett. Sullins is there. Copeland is there.
Can you feel it, Gary?
Oh,
a hot breath,
isn't it?
A hot breath of the tiger, stalking its prey, trying to push it down into a corner.
And remember this, Alabama has not lost here since 1969. You wonder how you can keep a string going that long in Death Valley. And Gene Stallings obviously is concerned. 2nd down and 12. They go tackle, and that's Copeland. Big play by the junior college transfer from Hines Junior College in Mississippi. That'll be a loss of 5. It'll be 3rd and 17 now.
Well, Gene Stallings said his team has won these football games because, number 1, most of the year they've eliminated mistakes. Number 2, their defense has played some tough football.
Hard-nosed football.
Absolutely. They've made more mistakes in terms of penalties today. 1 turnover in the ball game, but the defense is playing very, very tough.
2nd sack of the day for Copeland. 3rd and 17. Daigle being flushed out. Going to try to get it to Kitchen, and he does. Kitchen fights for the 1st down. He's going to be short. He needed to get to the 35, and he's short of the 35.
And he's a little slow getting up. Not just his shoulder ought to be stiff, but his neck might be stiff on that too.
He needed 17, and he gets 16 on the catch.
All right, you've got Daigle scrambling around a little bit in the backfield. And he's just going for it here, trying to draw some attention. Does a nice job of looping this ball over the coverage and into Kitchen's hand.
That's his bad shoulder, the right shoulder he took the impact on. He has 7 catches, 101 yards for the day. He has been their go-to guy, their clutch man all afternoon long. Now they're going to measure to see if he got the 1st down.
What a big day he's having today. And you know, Gary, it is tough to have this kind of day when everybody knows you're the man that they're going to go to.
You've been there, right?
Oh, I've been there, and I said at the top of the show, he has to have this kind of day in order for LSU to have a shot.
Well, here's the play of the game right now. 4th down coming up.
Of course, earlier I said Alabama turned the ball over once. They turned it over twice now. We'll take a look. There's Jesse, he's scrambling. He sees Kitchen going over, loops it over one of his own man and a defender. Look how he goes up in the air, catches it in his hand, touches it away. Now he's looking for that marker. Just short.
He was an outstanding basketball player. Dale Brown felt he could play for him had he elected to do that here at LSU. 4th down in the yard. Movement up front. Pitch to Beckham. This could be a 3-play. Beckham got to the 35. I think he got the 1st down. Let's see. It looked like Webb moved for Alabama.
They call him in a neutral zone. They'll take the 5-yard penalty. It'll be a 1st down.
You know, that's the 2nd 4th down play today that Alabama has jumped off sides.
Defense offsides, 5 yards, first down.
And so LSU is still alive.
You see the movement right there. He's in the neutral zone, and the center snaps the ball. Even if they weren't ready to run the play, that center should have snapped the football to pick up the free down.
That is the 9th penalty against Alabama for 99 yards. So the first down sets it up at the 31. 4th down, they got it by penalty. There you go on the option to the 25. He's got another first down. He's knocked out of bounds at the 19-yard line.
Gary, his mind was made up from the moment he took that ball at snap to run the football. He came down the line in that option. He had a man to the outside. I don't know whether he saw it in terms of the way the defense was set, but look at him. He's just running. He's got a man out there. Defensive back, Stacey Harrison, commits to the pitch man. He tucks it away and gets a little push to the first down from Sam Shea.
And Daigle showing his quickness. He was an option quarterback in high school. Inside the 20-yard line, first down. And nothing going this time for Jermaine Williams, the fullback. He got inside the 20 and maybe a half yard at best. Steve Webb, the senior out of Holt, Alabama, was there first to make the stop. There he is. He's the guy that jumped offside. Gene Stallings says what a great character kid this guy is. He replaced Derek Thomas 2 years ago as the starting linebacker. 2nd and 9. 3:15 left in the game. Daigle up the field, and that one may be picked off. Almost was by Mark McMillan. He batted it up, and on the deflection, the Tide looked like they might have a crack at the interception. McMillan coming over and making a fine play.
It's almost as if Jesse is not seeing that man, Gary, as if his vision isn't working for him here. He's not seeing that underneath coverage. The man's right in the sight, right in the line of this pass, and he throws it right to him.
So there's McMillan. He's not very big. In fact, you asked Gene Stallings if they thought they'd go after him because of his lack of size. 3rd down and 9. Jacquet. And he's inside the 15. He's still considerably short of the first down. John Sullins made the stop, and we have another 4th down.
Now here's where the coach has to make a decision. He's got 250 and counting in his ball game. He's got a good field goal kicker. Does he bring him in and kick, or does he take a chance and go for the touchdown?
Well, that's what's going through his mind as he calls the timeout. They have 2 timeouts remaining. 2:49 left in this one. It's Death Valley, and it has been something special. You got to make decisions, and Curly Holman is elected to go for a 28-yard field goal on a 4th and 2. He has 2 timeouts left. Wonder if he'd try the onside kick or whether he'd kick it deep and try to hold them if they get this field goal.
The way their defenses are playing, I think they would try and kick it deep.
The hold will be Hall. The
Block.
kick is up and blocked. Picked up by Webb. And Alabama has been able to stop him as Suarez has his field goal attempt blocked.
All the speculation about what they're going to do on the kickoff.
That's the first block of the year for Suarez.
Let's see if we can see who blocks the kick. It's up.
It's Antonio London.
Number 55. He's been playing big all afternoon.
Look at the reaction by Stallings. Do you realize that's the 3rd time this year London has blocked a field goal? And Curly can't believe it.
Decisions, what to do in this ball game, go for not. When you look at a play like that.
And as you can see there, 4 straight games they blocked one. Antonio London's blocked 3. Barker getting off to Stacy. LSU fired up, stopping for a loss on the play. That's Wharton, the first to get there. Time 2:30. And LSU uses another timeout. They have one remaining.
Now, they missed an opportunity there to score, Gary, but the same thinking still applies here, as if they had kicked the field goal and then kicked off long on the kickoff. They still have a chance, if the defense holds them, to come back and score and be up in this ball game.
And we'll return with the final two. Broke ground yesterday on a new athletic office building just west of Tiger Stadium. Here they will house all the athletic department personnel. Construction beginning immediately on a 72,000 square building, costing in about the area $5 million. And right now, as we come back out, we have a flag before the snap of the ball. Looks
Hammond,
to me like
63.
Hammond, yeah, moved. That would be the 10th penalty against the Tide.
Before the ball was snapped, movement by the offense, 5 yards.
Again, this reminder, the big game, Miami, Florida State, regional action. Notre Dame upset today by Tennessee, plays Penn State. And Michigan taking on Illinois. They could clinch the Rose Bowl if they beat the Fighting Illini next Saturday. Second down, 17. Barker rolling out to the 35, to the 40, and he's short of the first down. Nice effort, though, by Jay Barker. Got it out to the 42 as Ricardo Washington eventually caught up with him. And there's the time left in this one. A 15-yard run that time by Barker.
Gutsy call for a naked bootleg. Some LSU guys had chances to make the stop.
Third down, 2 yards to go. Barker's done a very creditable job relieving Danny Woodson, who was suspended. Hand off to Turner. Boy, is he met at the line. Big pile up. I don't think he got it.
No, it'll be fourth down. It'll be about a half yard short, Gary.
Ricardo Washington made the stop. Want to take this opportunity to say hello to Wilma Grashot, who is known as the Fudge Lady to the LSU football team. She's been bringing homemade fudge to the LSU football office before every LSU game for the last 23 years. And Wilma Grashot, lady that has been so gracious to LSU in the Lake Hospital, recovering from surgery, and all of the team want to be sure that we wish her the very best.
Well, I hope excitement is what she needs in her recovery, because she's got a lot of it right here.
I guess so. Here is the measurement, and it's fourth down. By the way, Ricardo Washington has a total of 13 tackles in this game. That's his number 13. And now Stallings is going to call timeout.
You want some time to think about it.
Yes, sir. Don't blame him.
Decide what he's going to do.
He has one left. He and Mal Moore standing there. Barker's over, huddled up.
You know, he's looking at this ball game a minute 43 away. I mean, he's got to have some confidence in the fact that they're running the football well. Maybe he's going to go for the fourth down.
And his punter has not been really effective. We'll be back with a minute 43 to go. He's going for it on fourth down, apparently because they might come up the line of scrimmage, try to draw LSU offside, then go into punt formation. Here they go, fourth in a matter of inches. Turner and Houston in the backfield, hand off to Turner, and I think he got it.
Yep.
Turner got the first down.
I'll tell you, if he had not picked up that first down, Gene Stallings would have gone back to Alabama with a lot of people saying, well, you know, Gene, the Bear might not have done it that way.
But you know what? The Bear might have done it that way, too.
Well, you don't know. You know, when you're successful, people can say that. When you're not successful, it's hard to be the ghost.
Well, they're going to measure, but it looks like they have enough. And they do. So now LSU has one timeout left, and look how tough it was. But Turner, with great grit and determination, got it. He has 90 yards rushing. Stacy with a 102, and Stallings, a little bit of a gamble there, but he got it.
Yeah, that's a couple of gray hairs.
Hand off again to Martin Houston, the fullback, across the 45 to the 46, and LSU will use their final timeout with 1:22 left in the game. Boutte and Thomas on the stop.
Well, when we talked to Gene Stallings, Gary, remember you asked him, said, Gene, in terms of the score, how do you see this ball game? Do you see it close? Gene thought for a half second there and said, well, I see the ball game as being 17-20, 17-14. And I think he even threw in the 24-20 towards the end of that conversation. Both coaches felt this would be a very close ball game.
Well, that gives us an opportunity now to announce the Chevrolet most valuable players of the game. Antonio London with that big block. He had 2 tackles for loss for Alabama's our MVP. And Todd Kitchen, brilliant day. 7 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown from LSU. And Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their financial achievements and to assist those in financial need. And it wasn't an easy decision. There were a lot of guys that could have won the award today.
On the Alabama side, certainly Jay Barker, with the exception of a couple of mistakes, who did an outstanding job coming in to lead this team. Kevin Turner, did a good job. Siren Stacy.
Hand off this time to Turner. Turner will bring it up to the 49-yard line, and LSU cannot stop the clock. Wayne Williams over there to make the tackle. 3rd down and 5 as you see the time remaining.
Now this may not be a win for LSU unless they get a miracle here, a turnover, and put it back in the end zone. But this is a good performance by this team with a new coaching staff. I think that sends a message throughout the state of Louisiana and the people who are watching in this region that this program is going to be tough to deal with in the future. And Curley has done a fine job of leading this school.
Well, Alabama's on their way to their 7th straight. They'd go 8-1. They play at Memphis State. They have a week off and tangle with Auburn at Legion Field. They're thinking about a 10-1 year and head to a New Year's Day bowl right now. And now delay a game against Alabama as they let the play clock expire.
Well, by letting that play go, what they've done now is they'll take the snap. The clock will start running. And effectively in this ball game, it's 3rd down. If they wanted to, they could also execute a play on 4th down, and it would be over.
LSU wanted to win today and try to head into a winning season. They still had bowl hopes and aspirations if they could have pulled out a win here. Here's Turner running across the 50. Turner to the 35. Turner to the 20. 15 and tackled inside the 10. Anthony Marshall finally caught up with him.
Turner wanted to make sure he didn't run out of bounds.
49 yards for Kevin Turner.
I'll pad his stats pretty nicely for the end of the ball game.
142 yards for the game.
Everybody from LSU is up on the line of scrimmage. They know that Alabama's going to run the football. They're thinking probably inside. But Kevin Turner runs a little bit outside, struggles, but stays in bounds on the play.
You know, it's remarkable that Alabama has not lost here since 1969, because this is a tough place to play. That put Turner, by the way, over 1,000 yards in his career. 1,021 is Mike Swanson, our stat guy, on top of it. And now the ball at the 7, 1st and goal, 21 seconds. They're not even going to take another snap. And Alabama will go to 8-1. And Gene Stallings' team with a big win here in Tiger Stadium. After losing their 2nd game of the year to Florida, the Tide is rolling. The final, Alabama 20, LSU 17. There's our MVP defensively for this Alabama team. Antonio London with a big block on a field goal that would have tied the ball game up. As an end result, ends up being a 3-point win for Alabama. Special thanks to our director, Bill Webb, and our producer, Jim Ressler, for a job very well done. Our spotter, Joe Sullivan, our statistician, Mike Swanson. It's been fun coming down here in Tiger Country, Tiger Town, if you will. Very gracious host. Herb Vincent, the sports information director, made our job a very, very easy one. So Alabama continuing their move to a New Year's Day bowl as the Crimson Tide pulls out a 20-17 victory over the Tigers of LSU. And so for Lynn Swan, this is Gary Bender saying so long from one of the toughest places in the country to win a football game, and Alabama did just that.